Hello everyone, welcome to my channel PSIR 300 plus. Today we'll be talking about an important global event that has taken place in Alexa and the fallout of it. Before going into the discussion, I would like to also give you some important background with regard to the topic which are in discussion today. As we already know that we are having America at one pole and Russia at another pole, and we are here at India. Okay, there's a triangle going on. Let us see the triangle. Okay, fine. So America and Russia, basically they are always in the Cold War. Cold War is nothing but the war which is not fought directly with the military, but each of these countries try to show to the world that they are superior to each other. They are superior in the world. That is what they try to show. With regard to military, they will show that they are superior. With regard to technology, whether going into the space, whether with regard to their geopolitical influence in the region. On these three fronts, basically they will fight with each other and try to establish their supremacy over each other. Then what is the role of India here, which has no relation with this particular Cold War? Recently what has happened, you know that America has imposed heavy tariff up to 50% on India, saying that India is buying oil from Russia. So that is the reason we will impose higher tariff. Okay. So basically here America wants India not to buy oil from Russia. This is what we want. Okay. Now just imagine a point here what India is doing at this point. India said that, see Mr. America, we are neither be a part of your any of the led blocks, neither we want to be a part of Russia led blocks. We are a country which are basically driven by democratic principles, constitutional values, and we work on economies of the country and the people's interest. So our basic decision making will depend on all of these values rather than siding with each either of you. That is what we have told. So India made it very clear that we are actually following a non-alignment policy, that our foreign policy neither allows us to align with America-led or countries nor allows us to be a part of Russia-led. So this is where we are at this particular point of time. Now, since the war broke out, Russia, you know that attacked Ukraine. Ukraine want to join what? NATO. And NATO is one of the military bloc led by US plus Western European countries. UK, Germany, France, etc. All of them are part of what? NATO. So I'll repeat again for your understanding. Russia has attacked Ukraine because Ukraine want to join NATO. NATO is a part of US-led Western countries. The same thing is happening here or not? Okay. Now we are buying from Russia. Okay. America is attacking what? India. India is buying oil from Russia. America is attacking. What is this dual phase of America? When Russia attacks Ukraine, saying that if Ukraine becomes a part of NATO, Ukraine is a bordering country with Russia. Ukraine is a bordering country with Russia. And if Ukraine become a part of what? NATO. So NATO military army will be there at the borders of Russia, which Russia will not take as simple. Because Russia will consider as a national security threat. That is why Russia is actually invading the Ukraine to some extent. That is very right. So when Russia does the same thing to protect its interests, US will pose sanctions, and India, when it is protecting its interest with regard to the oil import from Russia, even already you have banned not to take oil from India, Iran. Okay. So we are not able to take from Iran, and we should not be taking from Russia. That is not going to happen because that will not is a policy that we are always striving for. We always see the world as a commonwealth of nations. Everyone should share the commonwealth. That is what we want. Okay, right. Fine. So what has happened here? Russia has attacked Ukraine, and there has been many times the US-led countries are saying that Russia should stop it. So many meetings happened. Minsk 1, Minsk 2 happened, and the recent one under the leadership of Donald Trump took place in Alaska. This, whatever the topic that we are discussing, it is a fallout of Alaska only. So basically here Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, both of them have met in Alaska. And in Alaska they wanted to negotiate a peace agreement with regard to what Russia should stop war with what Ukraine, and to look for global peace or to the regional peace. That is what the agreement was all about. But what has happened, whatever the Russia has told in the agreement, the points, US did not like it, and whatever the US said to the Russia did not like it. So a complete fallout of this meeting has happened. A complete fallout of the meeting has happened. So in this particular scenario, what is happening? Russia is continuously still going on war with Ukraine, and USA and the Western European countries are just supplying various military aids, etc., but not directly sending the military at this point of time, which will actually break out what bigger regional war. Right now, US and the Western European countries, NATO-led countries, they all want Russia to stop what war in Ukraine. This is it. For this purpose only they met, but the negotiations completely failed. Then in this scenario, who is the one which is now the scapegoat, or who is the one which is actually suffering? Okay, it is a Ukraine, right? Now we are talking about this only. So US NATO style security guarantee is given for Ukraine. Okay, so US said that okay, Russia is not stopping war on Ukraine. No. So US said, don't need to worry, Ukraine, we are there with you. We will give you NATO style security guarantee. What is it? Let us discuss about that also. In your examination, they may ask you a question like this. Remember this. How does US security guarantee affects NATO role? What are the implications for Russia's security strategy? What are the key actors in influencing Ukraine's future? What are the risks of NATO expansion in Europe? If NATO goes on expanding itself like this, come towards what Ukraine also, then it is very close to the Asian continent like Russia, China, Pakistan. So again becomes very difficult. I mean, they are having complete sway over the world, that we can say. So all of these questions could be possible, but the answer will remain the same. This is the whatever we are discussing, you have tried that only. Context, historical and geopolitical overview, let us see. Recent developments. Recent diplomatic summits have significantly altered Ukraine's security landscape. Lot of summits happen to resolve the issue of Ukraine. Okay, but the security of Ukraine has been compromised many a times. In NATO's latest meeting, member nations reaffirmed their commitment to collective security framework. So NATO's recently US led the Western European countries, they have meeting, they said that we will definitely work out a collective security framework for Ukraine. And they all said that they stand solidarity with Ukraine. This commitment is reflected in increased military assistance and strategic partnership, highlighting a united front against the aggression, which is nothing but Russia here. So this is what their stand is with regard to Ukraine. Let us see the stand of Russia from other side. Meanwhile, Russia's response has been one of the growing hostility. Russia is completely dismantling Ukraine, continuously bombarding it, okay, annexing the lands as it is going into what Ukraine. So Russia's response has been one of the growing hostility as it perceives these agreements as direct threats. Whatever the NATO is doing, Russia consider it as a direct threat, and which is leading to even more enmity with regard to US-led NATO and Ukraine. The geopolitical tensions are escalating every other day, prompting Ukraine to seek for further international cooperations for its defense. Key actors including the US and EU are crucial in shaping this evolving dynamic balance deterrence with diplomatic efforts. So who can actually do the complete peace or complete balances out means it is US and European only Union only have to do. NATO guarantees how is this collective security framework for the Union will be chalked out. Let us see about it. First of all, NATO expansion. Russia's viewed NATO's eastward expansion as a direct threat to its national security, leading to heightened tensions. National security in the sense is, many a times we don't understand this particular point, but national security is nothing but you try to sponsor some people inside your country and try to bring down the government, you try to control their economy, you try to control their military, you will know the military locations of the particular nations, because you are very close, you can get all of them in your fingertips. That is what is called as national security. This expansion undermines Russia's influence in near abroad. provoking fears of encirclement and military encroachment along its border. So Russia thinks that if the NATO goes on expanding like this, it is a complete border national security threat Russia will be facing. And from here, Japan is there, and from like this, Arctic it is free. Like this, US-led NATO is actually encircling Russia like that. Russia is assuming, which is very true in the sense. Security threat. In response to the perceived threat, Russia has adopted a more aggressive stance, enhancing its military capabilities near NATO borders. This includes increased troop deployment, regional exercises, reflecting its commitment to counter any aggression from the West. We are ready to counter it. That is what the Russia's clear-cut message. Okay. What are the security models that will be offered to the Ukraine? Let us see one by one. First one is bilateral agreements Ukraine can do. Okay. Within this, one country can have tailored support from one of the country, may lack collective backing because bilateral only, raising questions about long-term sustainability, affecting in effectiveness in deterring aggression. So basically here bilateral agreements Ukraine can do with any of the country US and NATO will support. Then collective defense strategy akin to NATO's Article 5 would ensure multi-nation support, reinforcing shared security commitments against potential threats from Russia. In NATO, what happened is, if suppose Germany is attacked, it means they consider the attack on complete NATO countries. Okay, so that kind of security is also given to the Ukraine, in which if the Ukraine is attacked, it is considered that it is an attack and US-led NATO, all the countries. So all of them will come forward support for the Ukraine. Then hybrid model is also there, combining military and diplomatic efforts could provide flexibility, addressing Ukraine's unique situation while engaging key actors in the global security landscape. Even India is important here. Okay. Now, challenges to the implementing security guarantee. US has announced the challenges, but what are US have announced the guarantees? What are the challenges? One of the significant obstacle with regard to US guarantee is diversion of interest among NATO members, which can hinder a unified response to collective security threats. Within the NATO also, all of them are not actually having the same voice. They are dissenting voices are there, they are diverse voices are there. So implementing a security framework will not be that easy. Additionally, the risk of escalation with Russia poses a considerable challenge, as military guarantees may provide aggressive actions from Moscow. If US-led NATO keep on giving more and more arms to the Ukraine, then Russia will respond even more like that. That is a bigger challenge. Finally, the complexity of Ukraine political landscape complicates the establishment of effective security guarantees, as internal division may weaken a cohesive defense strategy. If the US-led NATO is supporting Ukraine with regard to all its military, then within the Ukraine, whatever the defense forces are there, they will be demoralized, they will be discouraged, and they will not have a cohesive defense strategy as far as their sovereignty is concerned. Okay. Now we are having a regional security. The emergence of NATO style guarantees has altered regional security dynamics. Now tomorrow US can say that I will give NATO like security to Pakistan. Okay, then it will not work out like this. No, this kind of new innovation tools, if the US is trying to innovate, then it will definitely have a larger impact on regional security of the world. Global tensions. The geopolitical implications of US NATO style security guarantee extend beyond, if it extends beyond Europe, that is what I have told you, will have a very, very dynamic shift with regard to international relations. Okay. Summary, anyhow, I'll attach the PDF, you will able to know it. I hope this is all clear to you. Take care. And one more important, do join my PSIR classes, test series, mentorship. I guarantee you that you will crack 350 marks very close. You will be there. I'll be handholding you all through the years till you write it. No need to worry about it. Just engage with me and see the experience. Thank you.